Hello everyone. In this lecture, we are going to study about design for assembly. Now, what is meant by design for assembly? According to Vincent Chan and Filippo, the design for assembly is a process for improving product design for easy and low cost assembly, focusing on functionality and on assemblability concurrently. So, what is meant by design for assembly? It is process for improving the product design, okay, for producing a low cost assembly. That is, when the assembly is done, it should not take more costs, or it should not incorporate high costs in it, and focusing on the functionality and assemblability. What is meant by assemblability? It means how good, how in how better way or easy way a part can be assembled in the with its counterparts. Okay, so this is the definition given by Vincent Chan and Filippo. Now, design for assembly. What are the objectives? Uh, it it reduces the cost for assembly. Okay, it improves the quality and reliability. So, it improves the quality of the assembly and increases the reliability. Third is to reduce the part inventory. That is to reduce the number of inventory that is required. And the fourth one is reduce the production equipment. Okay. So these are the main objectives of design for assembly. Then what can be the assembly methods? So broadly there can be three types of methods. First is manual assembly. As the name says, it can be done manually itself. Second one is fixed automatic assembly, and the third one is flexible automatic assembly. So difference between fixed and flexible is assembly procedure is fixed and the same thing is being assembled again and again. And in flexible automatic assembly, the assembly is being done automatically, but if there are some minor changes during the assembling process, it they can be incorporated in the same setup. Okay, so these are the three assembly methods. Now, what are the design guidelines for manual assembly? For manual assembly, it eliminates the need of workers to make decision or adjustment. It ensures the accessibility and visibility. And the third guideline is eliminate the need for assembly tools and gauges. So these are the guidelines for manual assembly. Then we use jigs and fixtures for holding the job. For holding irregular shape of job, we design special jigs and fixtures. Okay. Now, design guidelines for manual assembly is to minimize the number of standard different parts, and we use the standard parts. As we discussed in previous lectures also, that if we use the standard sized parts, then the cost of the product gets lowered. Then minimize the number of parts, avoid or minimize part orientation during assembly. That is, if any part is symmetrical about its axis, then it can be uh, assembled in any orientation. But if it is unsymmetric, then it has to be used in a specific orientation as per the provision given for it. Then fourth point is prepare easily handled parts that do not tangle or nest within one another. Okay, so uh, such parts should be used which do not get entangled with each other and remain separate, or can be easily distinguishable and easily handled. Okay. Design guidelines for automated assembly. So what are the guidelines for automated assembly? Reduce the number of different components by considering following. Does the part move relative to other parts? Must a part be isolated from other parts such as electrical or vibration, etc.? Must a part be separate to allow assembly? That is cover plate, etc. Okay. Then use the self-aligning and self-locating features such as we have self-aligning screw, okay, self-locating holes and so on, holes and its assembly. Then avoid screw and bolts, right, for uh, tightening and fastening purpose. Then use the largest and most rigid part as the assembly base or fixture. For example, in an automobile or uh, in a lathe, the bed of the lathe is largest and it is the most rigid part. So it is the assembly of the, it is the base and fixture of the assembly. Similarly, in case of automobiles, the chassis of the automobile is the strongest part and is the most rigid part. So on the chassis, the entire automobile is assembled. Assembly should be performed in a layered bottom-up manner. So when we do the assembly in this manner, we do not we tend to make less number of mistakes while doing the assembly. Use standard components and materials. So as discussed previously also, using standard components and materials will bring down the assembling cost. Okay. Then avoid tangling or nesting parts, right? Avoid flexible and fragile parts because they can be breakable. Avoid parts that require orientation. So using symmetrical part is preferred. Use parts that can be fed automatically and design parts with low center of gravity. So center of gravity is lower, that uh, uh, is situated at the lower part of the component, then it will have more stability. Okay, so this is it for today. In the next lecture, we will be discussing about basic guidelines for design for assembly. Okay, thank you everyone.